welcome back to your favorite realm in the entire Heavenscape universe. This is Tony Stevens presenting to you Valos Twilight. I'll be your GM, your friendly guide through this mystical realm. And before I get started, don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe with everyone you know. Now I'll go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves. Just give a little short tidbit about yourself, your character, and where you're at currently, and then we'll get started.
My name's Quinn. I'm playing Al, and currently I am on board a ship headed to the frozen wastelands.
That's a true story.
That's about it for right now.
Ronnie, I'm playing Detective McTavish, and he is currently investigating the Kent conglomerate.
That's also a true story.
My name is Jessica. I'm playing Adene, and we are on our way to the Cryos Tundra in search of this shard that's up here that we need to power this giant mech thing that we found.
My name's John, and my character's name is 42. I can't remember what he did.
He went with everybody on the ship. Realistically, the detective was the only one that said, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
Yeah. Was it
No.
a separate 42
Yeah,
unit?
he went to go arrest Runestrom and sent a...
He
Yeah.
sent a whole bunch of bodies to arrest Runestrom, but
Yeah.
he went on the ship with
I'm
y'all.
pretty sure he was with
Yeah.
the real bodies.
I think that's true.
That is true. I remember. I have to keep track of you people on a regular basis so I can figure out what you're going to do the next week.
What do you mean, you people?
You people.
Like robots?
Yes.
Well, I'm not a robot. I'm an android.
An automaton. Synthetic.
Are you Sung Sam brand?
I am not. I'm a Sung type android.
Nokia Sung. All right.
I got it.
Thank you.
So you, as you said, you are currently on a jump ship being piloted by a 10-year-old boy, Zarian Runestrom. He has decided that this is going to be the best way to spend his time. He's going to fly all of you crazy people who just stole one of the shards from his father. He's going to fly y'all out to the frozen wastelands where there is supposedly the one and only other source shard on the planet. So that's currently what's happening right now. Now, Al,
Yes.
you're currently in possession of the indigo shard, correct?
Yes.
The water shard.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to have you roll.
Oh, no.
You're just going to be rolling for attunement. With a
Okay.
difficulty rating of 20, you're going to be using your...
Magic, I assume.
use your magic stat. That probably makes the most sense. We would have done it differently in the old days, but we have magic now, so...
23.
So that's 3 over. All right. So basically what you get is an understanding from this of the guardian beast that it was originally attached to.
Mm-hmm.
And what you understand of this shard is that it was originally with Vernak the Vengeful, which was the largest sea serpent that they had. That actually they named the entire islands off the coast of what was Riverside, the Vernak Isles. And no person had ever gone there because all of the beasts and creatures were so venomous and poisonous. And this Vernak the Vengeful, she was one of the most vengeful of all of the guardian beasts. Mm-hmm. She despised the way that humans had built upon the land. She despised a lot of what their civilization stood for. So, be aware of that. You have an understanding of that now. All right. Now, so you're flying along. What have you been doing on your downtime while in flight? We'll start with whoever has the most initiative to tell me what they were doing on their downtime during flight.
That
I've
is
been talking to Ian.
All right, now remember, and if you read over your initiative points within the chart, each downtime action has its own perks.
It's not. Are you talking about? It's not like we don't have paperwork on it, but it's in the book. Is that
Oh,
what
it's
you're
in
talking,
the book.
Is that what you're talking about?
Do I not have my clipboard?
It's probably not on your
I
clipboard.
do.
But it basically, like, what you do with downtime can, like, if you want to train with downtime, you get an additional skill point towards whatever.
Yes. So you can train with downtime. You can heal on downtime.
But we're all, I think, did we all heal? Do you have it? Is that in there? Should I look it up on my phone?
It's okay. I'll look real quick while you're telling
But I
me
just
what
don't
you
know
might
if
have
he
done.
gave that to you. Probably be at the very back if he did.
Is the initiative on our current sheet? Because I don't see it.
It's not on your sheet. He was wrong. It has nothing to do with that.
Downtime. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can do on your downtime action. You can craft. You can test your crafting skill to smith, brew potions, enchant an item, etc., so that you can add something to your equipment. You got gather information, test your perception or social skills to gain additional information that cannot be gathered with research. Gather material, test your perception or survival skills to gather raw materials needed for crafting, brewing, or cooking. So if you want to make the new microbrew of Valos, that would be the way to do it. Medical treatment, you're admitted for medical treatment or to administer to another. You could test your medicine skill when administering it to others. Repair, test your repair skill to restore HP to a vehicle. That would have been helpful back when I had a motorcycle.
Yes.
Restore broken objects or functional to a functional condition. Research, you can test your knowledge skill to gain more knowledge on a specific subject. Discover new recipes for
That
crafting.
seems like what Fort 2 would do, John.
What? Discover new recipes?
Research.
You have rest, which gives you an automatic plus
on
3
downtime,
HP.
it's like a research
in
is an
one
activity
downtime
during
action,
downtime. It
quick
gives
rest.
you additional information about something
And 6
that
HP
you
for
may
2
not have had
actions,
before.
full rest. Only short rest is
Sounds
required to restore charges from exploits. And then train, you get an additional 1 XP to an attribute, skill, or exploits. So these are all things that you can be doing on downtime. So when it's like, what are you doing on your downtime? You can
If you don't
dictate.
if you don't need to restore your charges on your exploits, and you don't need to heal, most people train. But like for 4-2, he probably would investigate to find more information or whatever. Now, if you're healing, a downtime action, 1 downtime action restores 3 HP. And then a full rest, full downtime actions restore 6 HP. And then medical treatment is a separate downtime action. If like somebody is a medic, they can do an extra additional 3 XP.
So is there something specific that you'd want Al to be doing
I don't
while
think
he's
I don't
just
think I
chilling on
lost
the
any
ship?
XP.
Because he's not flying.
He'd probably be training while talking to Ian.
Yeah.
So like, how would you imagine, like maybe he's doing like meditation training or something, focusing his...
Probably trying to reconnect his connection to the runes.
Okay, cool deal.
Is something
All right, so you can
interfering
add
with
yourself an experience point towards that.
Okay, so just
for that.
put it down with the what experience I have left.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Something might be interfering.
We'll get to you in a second, Ronnie, since you're in a separate location.
Oh, yeah.
And then, Dean,
Fine.
what were you doing during your downtime on this ship?
I don't need any health or anything, so I would probably just be training. Probably with my. Probably don't want to shoot on a ship, so probably with my throwing knife.
Cool deal. All right, so you can add your experience point towards that. 4-2.
Repairs.
So hold on, does that 1 experience point? That means if I'm training specifically with that, it would go towards 1 skill XP because it would be a blade skill.
Yeah, you'd be putting it towards that blades if that's what you're training for.
Okay.
So whatever individual thing you say you're training at, that's what that experience point needs to go towards.
I'm just gonna do repairs since I was damaged.
You got hurt pretty bad last time. You almost went in the negs, didn't you?
I did go in the negatives.
Nice.
So he needs to take a full rest, and that's 6 HP. I don't know if that helps you or not, but.
Yeah, it helps me a bit. Doesn't get me back up to max, but
What is your max?
As long as you're out of the negatives, 42.
Ow, I'm curious. What is
How
your
healthy
maximum
are you?
health?
42.
How much more hitting can you take before you don't breathe?
All right, so currently, like I said, you're in the jump ship, and you'd be noticing as you're flying over, now you launched out of the central point of Greater Eloria. All right, so if you can imagine it almost like the American continent, you'd be coming out of the Midwest, basically. All right, but now you can see from the sky, and especially you, since you remember Eloria in a different way. You remember Valos in a very different way. When you see it from up high, you notice that the entire East Coast, all the way past the middle point of the continent, is nothing but city lights. It is a vast expanse of city networking where the entire place has almost been overtaken by the city of Eloria.
The whole continent.
And then
is a city? Is that what you said?
I said almost 2/3 of it. And then you can notice that where the desert of Drac used to be, there is something that even from up here looks like a gigantic geometric compound rested just outside the city limits within the desert of Drac. So that there is just some huge dome artificial structure that has been built there. Now you notice that you are going northeast towards the Cryos Tundra. Is there anything that any of you would want to be doing while on the ship, or talking with each other about, maybe interrogating each other about who you are, what your motives are? Or do you feel like you've gotten to know each other pretty well by just bumping into each other and shooting things together?
I feel like we could always get to know each other more, but it's a matter of do we want to?
Is there a mystery about anybody that you're just willing to grill them on? Or
Not really.
all right.
I don't feel like Al really
Should I try and
cares
inject
for people's
everybody?
backstories.
We need mass communication. Mindcom. Give me your arms.
I would rather
No.
not.
You're on a ship with a bunch of naturalists. Oh, these hippies, they don't know. You run the true communion. All right, so nobody cares. Nobody wants to talk to each other. You're all very into yourselves. He wants
do
to
have one
communicate, but
question.
you're afraid of him.
You, robot man. I'm looking at what too. What's with the big dome?
The one we're flying over
Oh,
on the ground.
do I
Of
know?
course, you would know that that's the 4-2 compound.
That's the 4-2 compound
That you've built to be your central
that
storage
I have
unit.
built to be my central storage.
So it's basically like your brain. Your brain's
No.
back up.
No.
It's like a house.
Is
4-2
a,
imagines it like
it's a
the
dome.
entire universe and time is his brain, and he's just the neural network of it.
That's too complicated for me. It's your brain. All right, cool. Thanks.
Just checking. All right. Now, Adene would know, if you asked her, that many people from the city actually go and wait outside the compound praying to be picked by a 4-2 so that they can become a 4-2.
we can only process so many at
This
a time.
is one of the main things that Remy is against is,
Oh, I don't blame him. It's disgusting.
yeah, cybernetic enhancements, all of that stuff he thinks is, so we're raising the orphans we're trying to raise the orphans to not go in that direction.
You are not
So,
preparing them for the world that is to
we
come.
cleared Valos of 4-2,
You are doing
then that
them a
would be good thing.
disservice.
Remy would think that would be a good thing.
He probably respects you for walking around with a nub. Look, this guy hasn't even gotten synthetic.
Yeah, most people would have gotten a synthetic.
So
They say
hardcore.
that
Cut off my arm to prove a point.
they say that when you get enhancements, there's a feeling of like euphoria that goes along with that becomes addictive. And so that's one reason why so many people get enhancements. But Remy believes that is bad.
And of course, the mother of the cybernetic age, Dr. Miles Stein, now considered to be a devil by many, and his devices and inventions seen the same. The mark of the beast, as it were. So, now, as Zarian is, or Ian, as one of the people on the ship is allowed to call him,
And it's
Two.
not me.
Ian, as he's flying the ship overhead, you can actually see that you're approaching the landmass that is known as the Cryos Tundra. Now, it is not adjoined to the greater Elorian continent, but it is directly above it. And even from this distance, you can see it's almost like a blur of white. Like it is that frozen, it is that much cold concentrated in this one landmass.
So like as soon as we enter, it's like instant blizzard.
Yeah, and like you're not even seeing like any greenery poking through. You can't even really see any motion in the distance. It's just a blur of white, like just walking into a storm, just a blizzard, as it were. But of course, none of y'all are flying, so you don't want to test to see anything.
Oh, I want to say that. I want to see if I can use the crystal as a dowsing rod to see if it can point us to where the other crystal is.
Would your water rune work on ice? I can't remember.
Water and ice are one and the same.
Like swoosh it away so we can see.
Maybe.
It's 13 plus 5.
Definitely not over a 20.
No.
No. So what were you trying to do with that action?
Use the shard.
You were trying to locate?
as a dowsing rod.
Okay. So the shard itself does not seem to either want to or have the ability to locate the other shard.
Come on, you stupid
Can
shard.
I
Bang it against my knee.
However, as you do this, it does put out a very powerful magical energy signature.
What
Better
does
than
the
nothing.
signature do?
Maybe we will find out.
Do we know that this happened or it just happened?
It happened. If any of you were attuned to the runes or into meditating, you'd probably know.
Does my body feel moist?
Ugh. Why are you asking
No,
that?
this isn't the Moist Maker crystal.
Okay. Can I just do a scan of the area?
You can. So since it's actually in a blizzard, though, you're going to have a little bit of interference. You're looking at a 25 difficulty rating.
Okay, let's see. Oh, here it is. It's intelligence plus. It's 28.
Nice. All right,
I've
so
rolled well.
as you scan the area, you do actually notice, it's up to you whether or not you relay the information, but you do notice that there are a multitude of motion signatures. You're not picking up any heat signatures, but you are picking up motion.
Like beneath us, how many?
Yes, beneath you, it seems to be easily numbering in the hundreds.
That's a lot. Like out in the blizzard. Like
In the blizzard, it could be maybe wild animals, but you would actually gesticulate that they would have heat signatures with them as well. But these do not have heat signatures, just motion.
I'll relay that information to everybody.
Maybe they're frozen.
No, they're moving.
Right, but maybe they're so cold.
Maybe they're shivering.
That's why they're all moving, because they're shaking.
Yeah.
They got the tremors, the cold tremors.
Do you think maybe you should go down there and investigate for two?
Do you have a drone or a probe?
He is a drone.
I don't think I do. Let me check my compartment, and it's just ice cream in there.
I don't think
I
want any of that.
like straighten my fedora. I think about it a second. Are there any 4-2 units in the vicinity besides myself?
Negative. One thing you would know is that this is one area of the realm that the 4-2s have not been able to populate.
Not been
And for
able
some
to?
reason, it has always caused interference with your sensor units when you've come through here.
Okay.
I don't like that. This land is under arrest.
So this is kind of like a black hole to you. This is something. This is an unknown for the 4-2s.
Okay. Before we enter the black hole, I would like to contact the, because I'm in communication with the 4-2s, so like I'm not contacting them, but I'm having some move close, but stay outside that, so they're proximity to me. Even in there, will be closer. The idea is that it'll be like kind of a mesh network, so I'll be able to transmit a signal from within the black hole because they can boost it. You know?
Okay, so let's run this off of your Simtech skill, because that's how you're really doing it. This is you being in unison. So run this off of your Simtech skill, and we'll put you at a difficulty rating of 20 on this one.
I have failed.
You're accepting your failure?
No. I will. I assume since it's a new session, I have another.
Yeah, I think.
I got.
You'll all start with 1.
I'm
each
using
time.
it.
After
Here we
a
go.
downtime, you start with 1.
20 is really high. That's really high.
It's not.
Yeah, if you've seen the chart, it's not. It's
not.
actually pretty.
This is me being nice.
20 is like normal.
It's whenever I say 20 to you guys, I'm being nice. If I say 35, I mean don't do it.
Actually,
Total is
it's
20.
at that point.
What?
Because I got 8 here plus my 1 plus 11. So
you got
20.
it.
I
That's
got
20 on
yeah.
the dot.
Nice.
So this is a success. You are able to actually send out the data for other drones out there to start closing in on this area. And they will be doing so. It's not instantaneous,
Oh, yeah.
but you're relying on the fact that they
I
did
just want
transmit.
the information to, like any information gathered within this area to be able to
catalog.
be transmit. Yeah, so that the 4-2s will have it.
That is the intelligent play. All right. So, Adene, did you have anything you wanted to do before the jump ship continued to rocket in towards the tundra?
I don't think I can perceive anything, but I guess I can try. There's no harm in trying to perceive something.
Yeah, sure. You
I
can
don't
try.
have any skills that would help me see through ice. Could I perceive something on the ship? I mean, I'm not going to do anything outside the ship. That seems unrealistic. Is
Yeah,
there
I
anything
mean,
in the ship that I would know or need to know, or about the kid or anything like that?
you could try rolling a perception based upon your general environment, I guess. If that's what you would like to do, a general perception roll.
Yeah, I don't think I could perceive anything beyond the ship. That seems dumb. No. I
What'd
see
you-
nothing.
What'd you get?
What does this go off of? Wisdom?
Wisdom would be your perception, yeah.
Like 13. I'm not willing to use a favor on that.
Okay. So all that you notice is that currently it seems a little bit hot, almost as if something on you is generating heat.
I'm gonna take my cloak off.
So you took off your cloak.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what I would do if it was hot.
You can. It's almost like when your phone's in your pocket, something generalized, generating heat directly onto you, but just like a back of your mind kind of thing. Like, oh, it's something's
getting warm
hot.
in here.
It's getting
Yeah.
warm in here. But that's about all you've got right now. All right. Well, are we going in or not? It's up to you. Who's in charge here?
Let's go.
Okay, gorgeous. Let's go. I agree with you. You're in charge, but it's not because you're older than me. It's because you're prettier than me.
You should keep that point of view your whole life.
I will. I was born perfect, so I will stay the way I
I
am.
told you, if you're nice, the ladies like it.
Well, I didn't slap her on the head to say hello.
No, you did. That's very.
That's the only way you say hello to young
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Yes, of course, of course.
I pat him on the head.
A good pat on the head. Hello, laddie. So he follows her instructions, and he pushes full thrust into the tundra. As he does, you actually notice that many of the electrical boards on the jump ship start misfiring and shutting down. The ship itself starts blaring an emergency alarm. Burr, burr, burr. So at this point, you know that there is a severe malfunction within the processing units of the ship itself.
How high up are we?
You know what? In cosmic meters, I've got to say at least 3.
Is that like dangerous height?
Yes.
We should panic.
Yeah. No, like, yeah. You're not jumping out and being okay. None of you are built like Drax. Well, one of you is.
I can fly. See ya, suckers.
What?
This is why you don't trust
So he
the robot.
bails out?
No,
I
no,
guess?
I'm just joking.
You could.
This was my attempt at humor.
Oh, but okay.
It's very bad humor robot.
Good job.
Thank you. I try.
Can you really fly though?
Yes.
Pretty sure we've seen him fly,
He
Adene.
can, yes.
Okay, I'm assuming the ship is crashing.
Yeah, it is going down. That is true.
All right.
This is you're in a split-second decision at this
Could he
moment.
grab us and fly out with us?
He would have to test strength to see how many he could carry.
There's only two of us. Oh,
Let me do a calculation real quick.
So-
1, 2, 3.
me and the kid weigh probably about as much as him.
Okay.
This is what you're looking at. For one extra body to carry while you're in flight, you're looking at a difficulty rating of 20.
Oh.
For 2 extra bodies, you're looking at a difficulty rating of 25. To carry everyone on this ship, you're looking at a difficulty rating of 30.
Then he can't attempt it.
Well, I'm going to try.
But he can't.
It is possible.
He can roll his strength.
Well,
Now,
maybe
whatever
not.
his score is, he will know how
Yeah.
many of you he's saving. Now,
Yeah.
who
Okay.
he chooses to save is up to him at that point.
Oh, why do we do this?
Now, like, so, because I have physique as a thing, does that give me a +1 on that
What is
skill?
your flight based off of?
Well, he's doing it based off strength. I can
This
fly
is
by
his
myself.
strength, so his ability, he can fly on his own. He's just able to fly. He doesn't have to roll to fly. However, his ability to carry all of you is being rolled off of his strength. So,
So can I add Zeke to that?
Yeah, physique
Yes.
skill is.
Okay.
That would be strength.
Is there anything else I can do?
What are your exploits?
Okay, there are other solutions. But let me calculate how many people maximum. Just based on this, I can't carry everyone, but there's a solution. 4-2 has come up with one. So I rolled a 15 plus strength. That's 8. So that's 23 plus 1, 24.
so you can carry one.
I can
Even
carry
if it's the kid,
one of you.
He could carry the kid if he chose to, yes.
There is another way.
what's the other way? Don't turn me into a 4-2.
That's the only other way.
No. Save the kid.
So at this point, it's up to you to decide who you're going to carry off the ship.
I'm going to say save the kid.
The kid himself is like manually piloting it to try and crash with the grace that he can find. But you can save him. You can take him off
Does
the
the
ship.
kid want to be saved?
He always I'll always want to be saved. I appreciate myself almost more than anyone else. You can save me, sir, but you cannot turn me into one of you.
Does anyone else want to be saved?
And not by being a 4-2, no.
Saved. Saved in the religious
No, I
sense.
think you
Sounds
should
like
save the
baptism
kid.
of horror over there.
I think you should save the kid, and we're too far away from the city for him to take it back to the city, right?
Yeah,
So-
no, at this point, even your own relay sensors kind of seem jumbled. Like you're as lost
If
in this
you want to
blizzard.
save the kid and jump out, you can. It would separate you from the rest.
All right, I've run over to the kid, grab him, jump out.
Well, oh my! Adventure!
All right.
So
try
you,
something.
Al, and Adene are watching as 4-2 just rockets across the ship in a speed that you have rarely ever seen. Grabs a hold of the boy Ian and just busts through the front window porthole of the jet ship and rockets off with him.
Sorry about
I'm
your
afraid to
shit.
tell you, I do not want to go into the void.
I'm not going into the
Okay.
void.
Do not open a void portal in this ship.
Now, for the two of you, what
He says he
do
wants to
you
try
do?
something. I'm willing to hear what it
the
is.
indigo shard, now that I have attuned to it somewhat,
Mhm.
can I try and tap into the water rune without my phantom limb to create a sphere of water to cushion our impact?
Okay, so when you have one of the shards,
Mm-hmm.
it in and of itself is the cast. So it's
Okay,
it's
cool.
almost like it is a rune cast.
So it,
You don't
in and
need
of
an arm.
itself.
okay, cool. I'm going to use the indigo shard to do what I just said, create a sphere of water around us to cushion our impact.
Now,
I,
that being said, it still runs off of the basic magic rules of Valos. And we remember what those are, right?
well,
Sacrifice.
are you talking?
Sacrifice. So something has to be given in order to gain.
How does that work now that it's running off magic instead of? He has magic points, right?
Yeah, 'cause I use
He does have magic points, but there does need to be some within Valos, not the rest of the multiverse that just uses
okay.
things
I just
lolly-golly.
didn't remember that from earlier when he made
Valos
the arm and
has
the
an
sword and all that.
exchange unit, so you have to exchange something to gain something.
I really don't want to be moist. I mean wet.
Well, it's going to be on the outside of the ship, not on the inside.
Oh, we're not going to be wet.
No.
Okay. Okay. That. It just seems being
Could
wet
I
in the middle of the cryo
sacrifice a year of my life?
Yes.
Yes, you can do that. Yes.
I also know that
From the front or the end?
Oh, that's an interesting question. So he'd be giving up a memory?
That's possible.
I was like Keanu.
I'll go with the end.
Probably
Okay.
the part you don't want to remember.
I hope that he is not in the middle of a really big battle in Heavenscape history when that happens.
Or doing something else.
Or doing something else.
Additionally, could I sacrifice those motions he picked up if they're living?
What is the point of sacrificing twice? Do you get extra
No,
points?
I said, I mean,
Instead of.
instead of, could I do that?
Alternatively.
No.
Alternatively.
You can't feel anything from them in that way.
Who? What is it?
Because he picked them up
What was
How
it
far
though?
away are we from the other 4-2s?
Too far.
too far. Yeah, they're like en route, so they're behind y'all by at least a day's travel.
I can't think of anything that'd be a good sacrifice, though.
Like I said, you can sacrifice the front end of your life or the latter half of your life.
Well,
just a year.
guess
So
I
it's a
don't-
year's worth of memory or a year's worth of potential
I guess
action.
the memory of getting dunked into water is important, so I'll do that.
It's very important to you.
the
So
end
you want to get
or
rid
the
of it?
beginning?
Yes.
All right. So you will, because you're sacrificing, you don't have to roll.
Oh, okay. That was
Yeah.
a good roll, though, so.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad. But you're making the sacrifice so that you can achieve this
Okay.
by Valos rules. So
So if he had just
You
rolled,
actually-
he would have just rolled? He wouldn't have had to sacrifice?
he has to sacrifice with the crystal.
Yeah, because I'm
Oh,
using the
because he
crystal.
has the crystal.
Right.
Okay.
So he's not forging the rune himself. He's not giving of himself. He's using this. So as you're doing this, you remember seeing your father's face, the face of your father, as he dunks your head underwater and he teaches you so much about survival, life, and what it meant to be a Strathmore. And then it fades away as if drowned by water. An entire year gone. So much of your attachment to it gone. But on the plus side, the ship is supported by geysers of water that actually lift up from the ground and slow its descent as it, not so gracefully, but not deadly.
You don't die.
You don't die, but it definitely damages the ship as it crashes into the tundra. Probably not taking that same way back, but you and Adene are intact.
So
You're
was
in
Soul's
one
hammer.
piece. What?
Chuck's
Right.
character was also with us.
Yeah, he's passed out. He drinks too much.
You can't see him in the wreckage right now?
Dang.
I'm gonna put my cloak back on because it's getting cold.
Yeah, there's actually an Arctic cloak in the ship's storage bay. It's got fur lining. It's a little bit longer.
That's the one I want.
Huh?
That's the one I wanted.
Oh, well, it's there.
Well, I
Yeah.
pick it up, and underneath is Soul's hammer. He's snoring.
He's got sleep
So
apnea.
Well-
I wake him up, and he goes.
Since you didn't roll for actually finding him, I'm going to imagine that that's how you wanted it to go. But you did find a cloak.
Would my current gear
he gonna
protect me
come
from
with
the
us?
cold?
Huh?
Would my gear protect me from the cold, or would I
Yeah,
also need to
I
find
think
something?
you're good. You got the helmet and everything.
I believe that you got like advanced Steintech tactical gear, right?
If you called Steintech Advance, yes.
It's very advanced in this world, but yeah.
It's always breaking.
So it's at least a barrier from the deadly chills. You're going to notice that it's cold, but it's not going to slow you down.
So the ship is like broken apart, and we're like we can see out, and there's snow coming in and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's different pieces of it in different places. Heavy Metal might be on one of the pieces. He may have fallen out in the crash landing. We're not entirely sure.
So just to be clear, though, I still remember some of my childhood, just not like the specific events that happened in that year of it.
Correct.
And specifically,
You remember that Strathmore exists. You remember that he's important to you for some reason. But a lot of that training right there, starting with the dunking in the water, a lot of that survival training and hardcore training that you went through with Arthur, that's what you're missing.
Can I roll perception?
You may.
Another happy landing.
You didn't tell me what to roll against, but
20, base 20.
Okay, I can't see anything again.
So yeah, it's still, the blizzard is still very thick and dense. It's like trying to see through static. It's just...
Do you have any way or technology or whatever that would help you pick up where they are on your armor? Anything that would
Steintech be able to do that?
probably.
I mean, there's the basic HUD that you had within the helmet. You can try and roll perception to see if it'll help you.
See if
Let's
we can
try and do
find out
that.
where they are. All I have is a
Oh, that's
combo.
not happening.
Yeah.
No. What does that go off? Wisdom?
Yes,
That's
perception
a
goes off
10.
wisdom. That's
Well,
so that's such a bad failure. So at this point, as he's trying to get the helmet to work, to get the heads-up display to show him anything or something at all, something sparks on it. It's just like big fritz and makes like a reverberation noise, almost like a speaker that's too close to a microphone. And so you're like, you take off the helmet real quick, like, what the heck? That went horribly
Smack
awry.
it against my neck.
So electronics seem to be malfunctioning here. But as you do this, you do hear the starch noise of snow being compacted. So like something's walking in the snow closer to you.
Crunch.
That squishing, scratching noise that snow makes as
Who
people
can
walk
it
in.
be now?
I'm gonna pull out my gun and go towards it, I guess.
All right. Now, for 2,
Yes.
you are flying with Ian.
Mm-hmm.
You're still within the tundra, though.
He's
It's
like,
almost-
wee.
yeah. This is the most fun I've had in like today. We should have been hanging out all along, Fedora 2.
I like that name.
I know, I came up with it.
He's recording that for later thought.
Posterity's sake.
Yeah, or just he might change his name to Fedora too.
That's this one unit. He's special. He's unique. He's Fedora
Did the
2.
other 4-2s eradicate him for being an individual?
He's not an individual. He just has a fedora.
I
on.
mean, wearing a fedora seems like a sign of
if
individualism.
one wears a fedora, they all wear a fedora.
They will all try to find a fedora. They may not.
Well, no, they all experience wearing a fedora if one
Through
wears,
him.
Yeah, because he has a collective consciousness.
Correct.
All right, where shall we land?
Well, I don't know. You're in control of this machine here. I do know that that plane went down over there. I heard it.
I'll fly towards that crash site.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, definitely easy for you to do. You find the smoking wreckage and you land. Now, it's still hard for you to see if there's any individuals out there. So you may not be able to see where Al and Adene specifically are, but you do estimate that they started from the wreckage.
Okay. Can't tell which direction they were going, or like.
You could roll for perception on that,
Alright.
or investigation, whichever you would like to do. So investigation would run off of any kind of investigation skill you may have, detective investigation, or you can just roll perception
I
off
have
of
a
wisdom.
perception skill.
Yeah, so perception would be your way to go.
Rolling.
Now, since it's the blizzard and you're still running off of your electronic circuits, you're still at that rating of 25.
Well, I did pretty well. And this is based off intelligence?
No, wisdom.
Oh,
It's
then I
perception.
did horrible. Maybe I should do investigate. Is investigate based off intelligence?
It would be if you don't have the skill, though, you roll with disadvantage. So you'd roll twice, take the poorest of the two.
Okay. So this we gain a whole lot of just by switching it to that, but we risk losing if I roll poor.
Wouldn't his sim tech? I think that's what they were. I think that's what he was saying was his investigation skill was sim tech.
I don't know what
It's his
Simtech-
sensors and stuff. So yeah, if he
Yeah.
wants to do
so I
that,
think
run it off your
sim tech
sensors.
is what you would run for investigation.
I think we
It
called
does
it
run
like
off
Android
intelligence.
adaptation in the book or something.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it does run off intelligence, and you get a +1.
Okay. Well then, that's good. So I rolled a 17. I don't even need the +1. That's 28, 29.
wow, you almost made intimidating marks on that. So yeah, you can definitely pick up their heat. You can see which direction they're going. You know there's Adene and Al, and you can also see that there are about 20 different motion sensing or motion
Yeah.
disturbances moving
Around.
towards them.
I could tell them based on their heat signatures, they're unique. Like Adene runs a bit warmer.
Yes, you can tell that she runs pretty hot,
She's pretty hot. No, not always.
but her core temperature, even in this cold you're looking at, is registering at about 101.5.
Wow, that is hot.
Yeah, she's hot. Like, that's her base temperature. So you notice that. You can see that there seems to be some sort of strange residual overlay heat signature with Al. Like one heat signature and like a strange overlay heat signature on it.
All right, we'll start walking in that direction. I offer the little boy some ice cream
What?
because I know.
You know,
It's snowing
I probably
outside. Here's
won't
some ice
take,
cream.
ice cream right now, but oh, good.
It's
There's
good.
There's a
It tastes
compartment here,
delicious.
and he pops it open, and there's a parka in there, and he picks it up and he puts it on, and he zips it up tight, and he says, "Okay, let's keep going."
Wait,
You had a parka in your compartment?
No, one of the fallen compartments. They were at the
Oh.
ship wreckage.
I missed that part.
okay.
Packed winter
Is there
clothes
another
specifically.
parka in there? I want to blend in.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Is heavy metal in there?
There is a fur-lined trench coat
I will put that on.
with your fedora.
Yes,
You look
Yes.
excellent.
thank you. Do I blend in?
Yes.
Tell him to morph his face.
And if you want to find out what happens back in the freezing wastes of the Cryos Tundra, then you need to tune in next time on the next exciting installment of Valos Twilight. Until then, I am your GM and your helpful guide through this realm, Tony Stevens. Don't forget to click share, like, subscribe, and do your best to be great to you. Till next time.